Hey everyone, it's Brian from Workshop Addict, and we're going to go over some of Ryobi's new brushless 18-volt tools. A lot of these tools may look very familiar to you, but they put a brushless motor in them, upgraded some of the power, and voila, we have a new line to increase the ability of Ryobi's 18-volt system. This is awesome. So we want to take a look at each tool. We're going to go through them individually, and we're going to start out with this impact driver. So this impact driver is a 3-speed impact driver, very similar to the old model. It has the tri-LED lights up front, and it has an innovative way of removing your bits. You pull out on the collet, and this bit is spring-loaded, pops out to put a new one in, push, and it stays in place. I really like that on the Ryobi line, but this brushless impact driver really is kicking it. We're using a 4.0 amp hour battery with this, so on high you have 0 to 3200 RPMs, on medium you have 0 to 2200 RPMs, and on low you have 0 to 1050 RPMs with 2200 inch-pound torque and up to 4000 impacts per minute out of a 2.7 pound tool. Now, you'll see when our testing and we're using this, there is a significant difference between using this 4 amp hour battery or using the smaller compact batteries. So my first suggestion out of all this while we're testing these tools, and we use the compact battery in almost everything but the circular saw, is to buy the 4.0 amp hour battery or don't buy this tool, because it really makes a difference in power and how the speed works. It's going to be almost a necessity in my mind to really use this brushless motor and get everything out of the tool. You need to upgrade the battery. I may spoil it a little bit, but this impact driver was the most impressive out of all the brushless tools. And I'm going to say if you're looking for something in the Ryobi line that has the power to get things done without cutting out and doing everything you want, this is it. So let's move on to the 4.5 inch angle grinder. This angle grinder is neat, it's comfortable, nice to hang on to. It has a push lock switch so you don't have to hold it on, and you have your key to take off your grinding disc or your spindle inside the handle. We normally don't use it. You push down on the spindle lock and you can pull these things out pretty easy, put them back in place, but it's there just in case things get stuck. The big thing about this is you have a tool-free guard adjustment. So you can move this guard around just with your thumb. That's very nice. Power-wise, it was pretty fair. Grinding, it did well, but as soon as we got into cutting, it started to cut out on us a little bit. It seemed like we were putting a little bit too much pressure on the blade, which we weren't, but it's just one of those that you had to feather through, and even while feathering through, it cut out on us a little bit. Grinding wise, great, really light duty. I think this is going to be awesome. So it's something for the DIY guys to get a little more cordless out there, get a little bit of brushless action going. It does have 10,400 RPMs and a 5/8 inch arbor. Pretty nice unit, not a ton of power, but a big upgrade to the brushless world. Now next is going to be their 7.25 inch circular saw. This is a huge upgrade from their smaller saw that they had before, but it's also something that I think you have to step back and say, okay, what power am I expecting? This isn't going to be a worm drive saw here. It bevels from 0 to 56 degrees. You have a mark here on the inside that once it gets dusty is very hard to see to adjust your depth of cut, but max depth of cut of 2 7/16 inches. It does have an LED light up front, weighs in at 6.6 pounds, and has a no-load RPM of 3,800. Using this, cutting OSB, we just 3/4 inch, we had to slow down. It would stall out on us in the beginning if we were going too fast. It was fair, right? So then I wanted to say, what are we going to do when we rip a 2x4? That cutout, it just wasn't really working. But if you're cross-cutting, this thing was a beast. It loved to cross-cut. Ripping, not so much. It has a 24-tooth blade on it. I thought it would do a little bit better. You just have to take it slow. This is definitely not a tool that you're going to use with anything less than their 4.0 amp hour battery. And I think this will really kick in and do a lot better when you have a larger battery that you can pop in this guy. But for right now, if you slow down your cuts, it'll still do well. Don't expect to do a full depth cut. We tried to just go through a 4x4, no bueno, not gonna happen. But again, good upgrade if you're looking for something to do a lot of cross cuts. If you're building something and you want to cross cut a lot of items, this is it. It'll work great. If you're going to use it for breaking down sheet material, you might be disappointed. Still a nice saw, but all in all, cross cutting. So next we'll go on to the reciprocating saw, which this was probably one of the saws that I was most excited to see from Ryobi, because their last one, while it worked, it had a very short stroke, and this one has an 1.1 stroke on it. Variable speed triggers, 0 to 3200 SPM. You have a tool-free blade change in the back, but your adjustable shoe is adjusted with this Allen wrench that's on the side. Not a big deal, it's there. You also can flip from orbital mode to standard mode just by this little switch on the side. Everything's out of the way, works good. The biggest thing that we've seen with this was mostly the blade. You know, if you have the right blade on here, obviously it's gonna cut great. If you have the wrong blade on here, it's not gonna be the best. But when you get it into a situation where it really needs some power to get through some lumber, it too did cut out with the 4.0 amp hour battery. Don't expect the performance, again, out of the smaller compact battery. It just cut out really quick on us then. Easy to control. They still have the same anti-vibration handle on here, which, but you know, it's mediocre. It works okay. The grip is nice. I think with the right blades, you can make it work. It is a definite upgrade from the last one, just due to the stroke and due to the way you can change things from orbital to standard. Very nice on that aspect. It does have a brushless motor again, which is nice. You're going to get a little bit more runtime. You are getting a lot more power, but it will cut out on you once in a while if you put it into a tough situation. Didn't even get into any thick metal with this because we were getting it to cut out on some 4x4s and 2x6s. Overall, I think that the Ryobi brushless line is going to kick butt. I really do. You know, I know we're getting a lot of cutouts and not kind of being, you know, super excited about this, but the reality is these are not overly expensive tools, and while used correctly and maybe change up some of the blades, get some things on there that are going to work exactly for what you're going to do, I think some people are going to be very, very excited to see these tools, especially this impact driver. If you have one of the older impact drivers and are looking for some power, this one's got it. I mean, we were just burying these huge lags, and we just bury them and bury them. It's just awesome. So if that's one that I can't say enough good about this tool. The other ones are great too. It was just disappointing to see them cut out a little bit early. And that's that. It is what it is. Slow your work down a little bit and you'll get through it just fine. Hope this helps you out if you're interested in any of these tools, looking at them at the Home Depot. All of these came bare tools, so again, if you're not going to upgrade from the small compact tools, I wouldn't spend my money on these because I don't think you're going to get the most bang for your buck. Get this 4.0 amp hour battery, even for your old tools, it'll really help out. Hope this helps you out, guys. Give us a like and subscribe to our channel. Also follow us on social media. We thank you for your time. Have a great day.